Hey everybody, welcome to Paws and Paper. So today I am continuing on with my book pages on the, I don't know, a couple videos ago now it's been, I was watercoloring book pages just to get a neat sort of background. So we did, like, I love how this one turned out. This was that real kind of purplish and black one that we'd done. It turned out really cool. And now you can kind of see more of the glitter, hopefully on it. They turned out really cool. So this was just step one, getting my book pages prepared, watercoloring them. This one here has more of like the reds and yellows in it. And then this was a lot more of a gold one. See that black spot that I had there? It kind of fanned out really cool. I think it's pretty cool when it like blooms like that. And then I just did some coffee dyed with some of that instant coffee that I had. I was just coffee dyeing some pages, so I figured we could play with those too. So now the only thing I have done to prep for today's is I have backed them already. I just glued my book pages onto, I have like this 8.5 by 11 craft colored like cardstock paper. So I knew I was going to turn these into like either tucks or pockets or journaling cards. So I did go ahead and I just glued them all down so that you didn't have to watch me glue book pages to the board because they are, they're too flimsy for what I want to use them for. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I've got these. And these are completed. I have gone ahead and I have added little embellishments on these. But these are going to be turned into either journaling cards or tucks or pockets. But they're all backed on this craft paper. So some of these you have seen. This one here I have just like made a little embellishment up here. I put some of those eyelets in this one. And so I've gone ahead and I've embellished some of these, but this one here has a cool little pretty fabric flip. But these all have napkins on them. So I've used like a napkin that kind of has like a focal piece. So whether it's like this one here just has like a strip of it, but whether it's just one picture repeated or like one large picture like the cute little bunnies, I just wanted to put on like a focal picture. And even this one here, this one is more of like a background. So it really doesn't even have to be a focal picture, but I kind of wanted to use some napkins to begin with. And then you can always embellish later. So I want to start with the purple one here because I really like this color. And I brought along some napkins here. And I was thinking maybe even like this one here has some pretty colors that match with it, or even like this Christmassy one. It's almost like night, or the butterflies. So I did a butterfly one. Let's go for something, maybe something more like this. So I'm gonna just strip down my napkins here to try to get just, like the one single, this is the hardest part. Try to get one single sheet of napkin here. And then let's kind of it's like kind of like collaging with napkins. And then it makes a really pretty base to have to easily just, embellish up later to fit any journal. So what I have been using now to get my pictures out, I have one of these like watercolor pen things. It's just like it's almost like a felt tip marker, but it just has water in it. And I kind of use that to go around the image. That way it kind of tears. And then I can get like I can get the image out and it still has like that soft edge to where, like where it doesn't have that, like besides cutting it, I don't want to really cut it because I don't want that, I don't want the straight edge. There we go. Okay. So if I can get my water to work, there we go. It's a little bit fiddly, but once you get it to go, then you can kind of just peel off. And I think this is bigger than my journal card or my card anyway, so it's not gonna matter. We're gonna end up having to trim it to fit anyway. But I'm gonna take one large image and maybe, you know, like place this down kind of in the middle and make that kind of like my center focal image. You can see here, let's get that in frame. And so now I'm gonna just use, I've got gloss Mod Podge. This is really old. And I've been using this one. I do like the matte better, but you know what? It all works. So I am just going to put some of this down and try to stay within my picture here, because wherever I go, if I go outside my book page, it is going to show real glossy then. But like I said, it doesn't matter. All the other ones I did too. I'm not re-dipping my brush, but I'm going to go back over it, and it's wet enough to kind of stick it down, but yet I'm not saturating it, so then it doesn't put that real lacquer type sheen over top of it. So as long as you keep your brush just still sticky, it's going to stick to what's underneath, and you don't have to worry about it being, you know, if you're not a big fan of the glossy Mod Podge. But it still is going to stick down. Just make sure you don't have any bubbles in there, because if you get the bubbles, then you might want to go and get it just a little bit wetter. Okay. So there, I've got a focal image, which I think looks kind of cool. And I'm going over the edges. If you can see here, I have gone over the edges. I will end up trimming that off later. I did sew around all the other ones. But you can even mix and match different images. I think those might be almost too big, but I thought about putting the red berries on there since it's kind of Christmassy. I wonder what those would look like. We can kind of make this one more of a Christmassy. At first, when I was watercoloring it, I was kind of going for Halloweenish, more gothic look, and now we're into like Twilight Christmas. It's funny how things change as we start decorating them, I guess. I reserve the right to change my mind. Isn't that how the saying goes? Okay, I think I still have another one on here. Feels like I have another layer. So yeah, these are super fun. And so like I have to kind of do these book page cards, pockets, tucks, whatever you want to call them, in kind of like stages, because every stage of it has to have a drying stage. So let's see, maybe I just want to get the berries out. So maybe I can, let's see, maybe I can pull out a section of this one. So like I said here, it's just kind of like collaging with napkin. So, you know, don't be afraid to intermix your napkins too, and just pull out pieces and collage with them. And then kind of build up something really pretty. So maybe here, does it matter which way they go? I kind of want to do it like that. Okay, let's just do it like that. Let me get some more glue here and try to just only glue the area that I want it to stick in. Okay, now I am bringing it over the edge because I will cut it off. There we go. Well, that looks kind of cute there. So we're kind of building up the layers of this. And then when you have all these, you know, like bases done, then when you go to, you know, decorate, just to pop on a little, you know, a little cluster like on these. I was just doing little ruffle clusters and just little tiny embellishments. There's really no big embellishments on these at all. So super simple. Now, do I want to do any more, or do I want to just leave this for, I think I might just want to leave that for like a lace embellishment or something. So I am going to call this one good and leave this one to dry. So I'm going to move this one over here. And then I want to work on this really pretty like blue, green, gold one. Sorry if I keep going in and out. I just want you guys to be able to see. So maybe let's do, I really liked this one. These, they're like blue, it's like a blue pine tree look. And it looks like snow down here. And that could be kind of cool because that would just really be transparent. So I'm not even gonna cut this one out because this white is gonna be so transparent that it's just gonna add some pretty texture. So I think it'll look cool. And I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not even gonna cut it out. So if the napkin is pretty, you know, like if it's white, it'll just add that matte texture. I don't think you even need to worry about cutting it off. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way to the bottom and roughly to where I think it's going to end. And let's plop that on there. There we go. And now I'm just lightly going over it with my still wet, sticky brush here. I don't want to push too hard because you could end up, as soon as the napkin gets a little damp, it has the chance of tearing. So just be gentle with it. I'm really more pushing down on it than swiping across it. Okay, and I will do the cutting and all that stuff later, so I'm not going to worry about anything hanging over the edges now. I waited till all that was dry before I started, you know, trimming and doing all that stuff. So this is why I have to do these in stages. But that's really kind of cool because now you can kind of see the book page behind the napkin, but still you can see the napkin texture. So it looks kind of neat. Like, I love that just hint of, you can see the text, but there's definitely layers to it now. Okay, so I think we're all down. Like I said, I don't want to completely saturate this just because I don't want the whole thing to be super glossy and crazy. Let's see. Maybe we could put a giant bird in there and it would just look like the giant bird in the forest. Should we see what that looks like? I only brought along a few napkins here because I've been trying to limit my choices so I don't have so many choices, you know, to choose from. That makes it easier just to say, use this one. So yeah, limit your choices and then it makes it a little easier to decide. Okay, so let's see if we can, this might just look like a giant bird in here, but we could just, you know, it could just be our focal point. Okay. So now, again, I just do that because I like the jaggedy edges are easier to blend in than the completely straight edges. You know what? We could just put him on there. And we could kind of just offset him up here, and then we could, you know, eventually we could add some lace or ribbons and whatnot. And he looks kind of cool. Kind of like him over here because the trees are lower. Maybe I'll just do something like that. I think it looks cool. Why not? You know, it doesn't have to make sense. Nothing has to, you know, be like to scale and be realistic, obviously. We're not realistic. We're playing with glue and watercolors, and we're having fun. This isn't have to be anything, you know, that has a purpose. It's kind of what art is. Art is not, you know, a true purpose. It's just meant to be invoked, you know, happiness and fun. So that looks kind of cool. And again, I'm just kind of adding background again. So we've got watercolor book pages. Now we're adding some more layers with napkins and focal pieces. And then we'll add more interest with fabric and ribbons and laces and things like that. Okay, so now these two I made smaller. I cut that 8.5 by 11, that 8.5 by 11 sheet. I just cut it in half and then cut it in half again. So that's how I got all these little pieces. So this one here, I was thinking, I have this pretty fox, and I have these pretty fall. So these were kind of more fallish. The gold. And you can go, if you have to have the text going the right way. Like if I was going to make, let's make one a pocket, and then we'll maybe make one like a tuck like this. Or maybe we'll make 2 pockets. So if I'm going to make them pockets, I want them to go this way. And I was thinking my fox looks kind of pretty, and these flowers look really pretty. So which one do I want? This one has some of the reds in it, and the fox is really gold. So let's use this one on this card. And we'll make this one a pocket, because then it'll go landscape, and it'll orient this way much better. And then the text will be going the right way up too, but the text doesn't have to go the right way up. You can definitely, I'm going to turn the text the opposite way. So again, just trying to outline my bouquet here. It doesn't take much water, and then it tears super easy. Okay, so now this is a pretty big image here, which is good because it'll cover pretty much my whole pocket. And then that's almost perfect. I like it. So there, it'll cover almost my whole book page. And then we can add just a little tiny embellishment over there, and you will have a very pretty layered up pocket with very minimal, you know, like decoration. A book page, some watercolor, some napkin. It's just all about the layers. Like now you can see the book page behind it. That's what's cool, you know? The napkin just offers that transparency to see the things behind it. So there, that one is going to be super simple and quick. Look how pretty that looks already. And then I'll go back when they dry, I'll trim them all off. Oh, crap. Well, we were going to make this a pocket anyway. If I was going to make it a journaling card, I would have been upset because I just like put glue all over the back of it. Okay. Let's get this wiped off before I ruin another card. Okay. Now I'm going to do this one. Again, I'll turn it into a pocket. So I know I'm going to orient it this way. And this one I'm going to use my little fox here. And he's pretty cute. I like him. Is there another layer? It's hard to tell if there is. Is there another layer? I kind of feel like there is, but it's not acting. Oh, yeah, there is. Oh, no. Now we're going to struggle. I can see it. There you are. There we go. Oh, we got it. Okay, I didn't struggle too bad. You're stuck on there pretty darn good, aren't you? Jeez. You were never meant to. And you know what? I really don't have to go down this far. Just if you take off more layers, it just becomes more transparent. You can leave the multiple layers on there. You don't even have to tear them apart. Your napkin just becomes more opaque. You know, then you can't see through it as much. So, but since I want to see through it, I'm trying to get it as transparent as possible. So come here, Mr. Foxy Fox. And let's get you cut out. Maybe we can get some of these pretty burgundy flowers. I don't know how big you're going to be on here, but he might be kind of tall too. Okay, so what can we all fit? We're going to be able to fit, we're going to be able to get one little flower. And I'm going to kind of angle him a little bit so he kind of tilts his ears towards the corner. That way I can get some of this flower. So I'm angling him just a little bit, if you see. Okay, so let's get him on there. So we've got some of them that are looking very Christmassy, and some of them are looking very fall. And that's just all by coincidence. I'm not really trying to make one or the other. Okay, I don't want your ears to be cut off. I think we're on there. We're good. Very nice. So cute. He matches with the really gold look. I can definitely see you going into like a woodland type journal. All right, so see how simple it is to just get a base for a pocket or a tuck or anything? Okay, there we go. Now, the last two that I'm going to do, so I did the two larger ones, we'll make journaling cards. Then I did the two pockets. Now these two, I'm going to go with the text facing, vertical. So these I will turn into more of like, getting glue all on me, more like a, either like a tuck spot, or they can be like a small journal card. So we're going to orient it this way. And let's see here. I could do a journaling card with a fox on there. No saying I can't use another one, right? Or should we try doing, let's try doing multiple layers of napkins. So one of these, let's see if we can get it looking very fall. Let's use all these pretty oranges and yellow flowers. And then let's layer the fox over top and see if we can just make it look full of color, like he's just walking through the meadow full of flowers. All right, so I'm gonna use this one has that reddish, goldish color on it. So I'm gonna do a layer with this one first. Nice, fairly thick layer covering all my corners. And I'm going to just put you right in the middle. Okay. And I am going to glue all over that, because I am going to just leave you there. And I am going to try to get out. I don't want to get in my glue here. I'm going to try to get my fox back out here. Maybe this time we just get more of his head and body. Okay. Don't tear your ears. Not doing a very good job. Okay. So now, and see, he tore right there. I mean, it doesn't matter. There's no big deal. Yeah, let's get his head on there. Let's put him down. Ooh, that's gonna look super cute. Okay, I'm gonna lift this up a little bit, because you can't see too much. Oh gosh, I got glue everywhere. What a mess. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna end up sticking it to the board. Okay, so let's get back down here. So this is what he's gonna look like. Now, how cool is that? He's gonna look good. Okay, I've got enough glue on there. There we go. So see, you can just keep layering on different pictures from napkins, and you can create little napkin collages. And you can still see some of the book page behind there too. Now I know it looks really messy right now because we've got edges that need to be cut off and everything else. So it's kind of hard to see like where the edges will be, but you know, we'll go back and trim those off, and they're not dry yet. But look how cool. You can see the book page, you can see the flower, you can still see some of the watercoloring. But how pretty. Isn't that just a beautiful fall looking journal card? And now when it dries, I mean, it is going to have a little bit of gloss to it, but we're going to tone them down. Like these here, I mean, they are glossy, but you can't tell that much, can you? These are using there. You can barely see that sheen on there. All right. So let's put Mr. Fox back over. And look how different. Here we go. Here's the two foxes. Look how different they look just because we used layered images. So even though we're using the same napkin, the images look completely different because we're layering them up a little bit different. Okay, I think I've got glue happening everywhere. Okay, so now this last one here, let's go ahead and, what ones haven't, oh, the big, oh, I haven't used this one. This one, oh yeah, that one, because it has the like the goldish tips in it on the butterflies. It has a really pretty, like a reddish gold tips on the butterflies. Now this one here, I could just easily just glue the whole thing down. Oops. Like I did with that other one. Like this one here, made a really pretty just background. So let's see. And it's just on a real light blue background. So it's going to look real transparent. And I'm going to kind of try to get a full butterfly in here. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 full ones, maybe like that. Then I can still see my little black dot there. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of like position it to try to get as many full butterflies as I can out of it. So yeah, I just thought this was kind of really, the other day, I never really mass make stuff. I kind of get bored very easily with doing the same thing over and over. So I kind of do one thing and then I maybe make 2 or 3 of them and then I move on because I don't want to continue to make them. I'm just not good at mass making. Too much OCD there. I can't. No, can't do it. Get too bored. But anyway, long story short, I got hooked on making these, and as you can tell, I just kept making them and making them, and it was so fun, and I never do that. So for some reason, this really like tickled my fancy, and I was having just so much fun making these. I think just because they're kind of relaxing and simple. Now this one here, I'm just going to tear away because it is so wet. I can easily just tear away some rough edges here of the napkin, and then I will trim it all down when it dries. But let me try to get some more of these wrinkles out here. Yeah, and I can even use my fingers on it because I'm not really putting too much glue on the top. I'm pretty much putting the glue on the bottom and just sealing it, you know. So now I guess it doesn't really matter which way it goes, but there we go. So how cool are those? So let's bring in what we all made today. And they dry pretty quick. Already they're already fairly dry because I'm not layering on a thick, layer on top. But here's what we got so far. We've got like the 2 large journal cards, which look very, these look very Christmassy. And then this one here is just the full background. These 2 were like our journaling cards or tuck spots. And then these 2 will make into pockets. So there we go. We've got all these made. And next step, once these all dry, I will trim all the way around them. And then I kind of just go ahead and start embellishing. Add some lace, some little, ruffles, little danglies. So that's what I'm going to do with all these. And then I finish them up and I sew around them. You don't have to sew around them. These here, I just put on some, those are just rub-on transfers. But yeah, so that's how I'm going to decorate them up. Just put little bits on there. Nothing crazy. And that's what I'm going to use for, journaling cards, pockets, and tucks. So I hope you guys like this, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.